What is up, guys? Silent Moonspell back again, and today I am proudly bringing you guys the Perfect Effects. Yuck, wrong word. Mastermind Creations Perfect Series Ocular Max Azalea, and that is a mouthful. But yeah, let's look at the packaging. And first and foremost, this is a very small box, very small. And as you can see, this is their version of RC from the side, from the back. Feel free to pause if you guys want to read the description. And I like this little chart here, kind of like the old school G1 figures. You know, we had a little red thing that goes over this, and you can see the power levels and stuff. Very cool. And here's the other side, top view, and the bottom view. If you guys can read Japanese, I can't. So yeah. And yet again, I have to keep saying it. This is a very small damn box. I was shocked. But yeah, let's see what it comes with. Come with your complimentary, card. Very standard for MMC. Although this is supposed to be a masterpiece figure. I don't know why I can't talk today. It must be too early in the morning. Yeah, and this is supposed to be a masterpiece figure. This card is actually feels kind of cheap compared to the standard reformatted stuff I usually purchase. But whatever. Here's the levels, levels in strength, intelligence, and so forth. If you want to read that, and again, just give it a pause. But overall, all entertaining stuff. And it comes with this here instruction manual, which I might add is actually very good instructions. I followed these to the T and got her all transformed with not much help. So I applaud them. Most instructions with third-party figures aren't that great, and it's a lot of guesswork. But yeah. And she comes with quite a bit of accessories. Matter of fact, here, let me get this all in frame. A lot of pieces mostly, and most of them are just like your hands for different motions. Because on this figure, you have to change your hands out, which at first I didn't care for, but I got used to it now. Like she comes with two pair of hands for the sort of the kind of I would say, give me your hand, don't fall type of hand motion. And she comes with her hands that can grip her gun. And the cool thing is the trigger finger actually goes to the trigger, which is very nice. And she also gets a pair of a pair of straight flat hands. I guess almost kind of one of those oh my hands. Oh no, something terrible's happening. Oh no, yeah. And and she comes with different faces. One being this face here, if I'm getting the camera. I guess that's more of her, I don't know, shocked or maybe repulsed. Like, oh no, this man is too terribly ugly to go out with. No. Or, let's see, what's the other face? This face right here, which actually is my favorite, is from the actual G1 when not Rhomus, but Hot Rod and Cuppa stuck outside the city for using her visor. I think this is the one I'm probably going to use predominantly for display. And I think she has... Well, no, take it back. That's all her faces. Except for the one she came with. But on to other accessories. She comes with these two pistols. They're exactly the same. And for her car mode, you keep them like this and you just pick on the roof of the car, which I'll show off. But they're so we got a little bit gray plastic with silver paint, and a little bit of a yellow accent right there. If I can get the focus, there you go. Yeah, and they're both exactly the same, as you can see. If I can get the focus, there you go. So yeah, you get that. You get that all the way. Also, for a car mode, you get a very iconic fin right here, which I'm going to show that as well. And before you put the fin on, they actually come with this on top of it. There's still two peg holes. I just popped that off. I actually used a small screwdriver to get it out because it isn't there pretty tight. And I lied, guys. I do have one more face, or just never mind. This thing is the one I already showed you guys, but I'll show it again. This is her kind of a weird little smile. I'm not a big fan of that one really, but yeah. But to be fair, for all the faces, they're all painted nicely. Red lipstick and the whole blue eyes. It's kind of a shiny kind of. I'm not quite sure what that paint app would be. I guess kind of some type of a glitter paint. Correct me in the comments. I'm not a paint app expert by anyone's means, you know. So let's get all these hands out of the way. And without further ado, let's bring in RC. And she is a very, very tiny car mode. And I kind of see why they packaged her this way. For that small box, I mean, fits perfectly. And for right here, let me go ahead and add that spoiler if I can see what I did with it. I just totally had it in my hand. Oh, here it is. Here it is, right here. You place that right here. Goes in very easily. And that's where we'll stay. But yeah, let's talk about this car mode. It's not much paint. It's mostly just a really shiny pink plastic. And it's got some white paint here on the front of the car. And they got this gray plastic. And I like the headlights, like that translucent plastic, which is very cool. And this is white paint here on top. And from what I can tell, the paint, they add just a little bit here on tail lights, this red paint here. Although I've seen some pre-release pictures where this is supposed to be translucent clear plastic. But it's all good. I actually kind of prefer the red, so I'm cool with that. Also, I took the liberty, as you all know, it's third party, doesn't come with this stuff, but took the liberty of adding a Autobot insignia, you know, just to set it off. Or nice. And she rolls just fine. It's a very small car, very down to the earth. And it also has quite a bit of weight to it. It's much heavier than you think it would be. And that's because she has die cast. And if you look underneath, like most standard RCs, it's basically a robot, all kinds of fold up underneath. But I think they did it pretty well. I'm definitely not mad at it. If I had any negatives for the car mode, her being convertible, you definitely gotta, like, you know, try to dress up the inside, which she didn't do really, because as you can see, she has two small seats here, which is not a problem, but the whole head is right here, and there's her neck in the middle of the console. So I mean, it'd been nice if there'd been some way to possibly hide that in better. But overall, it's alright. I'm not mad at it. And for a comparison, I don't have any other RCs, but I do have the Generations one. As you can see, they're in alt mode at least. They're very comparable. And go to show how she really does compress very well. Because this is a Chug, and this is supposed to be an MP. Although, words to wise, I don't know if anybody knows about me, a lot of my Chug collection are mostly third party now, and they're usually Voyager size. So for me, this is actually going in my Chug collection, because I don't really do that many EPs. So, yeah. So, yeah, good comparison. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and get this transformed, and we can take a look at her bot mode. Be back in the flash. And BAM! Here I am, back with Azalea fully transformed, also known as RC. And let me pull that camera back. And I'm sorry for the lighting, guys. This thing is a whole lot of pink. My girlfriend tells me I need to get the black version, for obvious reasons. But, yeah. Let's take a look at her. As you can tell, if you guys can remember how she was in that car mode, super small, super compressed. But once she's fully transformed, man, she grows out. As you can tell. Very, 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 very limber. And again, I took in the liberty of adding an Autobot symbol right there. I think it sets it off nicely. And before I get into the paint apps and articulation and whatnot, I really want to congratulate them on this backpack. This thing compresses nicely. I mean, normal RC figures from what I've seen. She usually has a whole car on the ass. This time they taking the back and the front, and they just smashed it together ever so nicely. So it's very cool. Also, I forgot to mention, she does have, I think these are rubber wheels. I want to say it's rubber, but yeah, those two compress on the back. So, and her back wheels go into her leg compartment here, which is also very nice. Now, enough of that. Let's get on to the paint apps. Where they are placed, not too many places. Her face is a very pale pink. Red apps add for lipstick, and more of that blue pearlescent paint for the eyes. And I believe, I can't tell, I believe this is white paint here for the midsection or midriff. And you pull this back here. She has like a rose colored pink here, pink paneling, and red here below, above her belly button. And yeah, she has a belly button. I'm not sure if the G1 had that, but this one does. And I believe, honestly, God, guys, I think that's about it for paint. The rest of this is just colored plastic. Although I don't hate that. I think when you have less paint, you can actually mess with your figures more without worrying about paint chipping. Because I already have a small chip anyway, which is like if you move her ab crunch, she has an ab crunch, which is awesome. I love an ab crunch. Right here, if I can kind of make it out. It's a small. I can get the focus. It's the smallest of chips right in there. But that's because when you add a lot of paint, those things happen. But speaking of ab crunches, let's go ahead and get in that. Let's move his arm out of the way. It appears to be on a ball joint down here, slightly above the waist, so you can get this motion here. And you can also bend that way, and come in that way. Which is all very good for dynamic posing. So already this figure gets a like from me just for that reason, nothing else. And as for the arms, they can go up this far. Rotate at the ball joint, at the bicep. Oh, excuse me, and the shoulder. Never mind, nice. So you got a double rotation there. And bends at the elbow. Double joint bend, which is always good. Same on both sides, as you can see. So, then we run into that problem I have. I don't know if anyone else's, but maybe it's just mine. The chest here doesn't want to peg in at all, see? Just kind of bad, but I mean, you push down, I mean, it holds together decently, just that when you gotta be careful when you pull the arms, because you'll get this right here, which is definitely a bummer. And I have this piece of that paint, no, never mind, piece of oddbot symbol, it's fine. And as for the head, it rotates, I think, a full 360, which is nice. And she has this kind of rubbernecking thing here, as you can see. Now, if you're into that, I'm not the biggest fan of this, but at the same time, it's more articulation. I mean, turn to the side to get this. So, yeah. And if you look down the side, it's kind of like it's just floating in there. And like I said before, there's nothing really holding it in place. I think that's where they kind of failed at. But, you know, for the most part, your figure's going to be displayed like this. So, I mean, you won't see all that. As for legs, they've been out this far. Well, actually, if you pull down on the joint here, like just slide down, you can get a little bit more. So that's about as far as it comfortably bends, which is more than enough. And if you slide the joint down here, it's the same thing. So yeah, goes back. Actually, it can go back. It goes back about that far, about all you get out of it. But I think realistically, that's enough. I mean, for this figure, at least, and for that much. And slide that back up. She also has a ankle tilt. It goes both ways. And a toe bend, mostly because of transformation. But she has it. And same on both sides. So yeah. And like I said, and she has die cast in her feet, and they're below the knee. It's a I can't. Hey, what's the part? What's the part of the leg that's below the knee?
Your shin.
Ah, thank you. Shin. It's her shin. Yeah. Had a brain fart there. Luckily, I got my girl off site to answer those kind of questions. But yeah, her shin. Alright, now, back to those accessories. Mainly her gun, which I've taken the liberty of preloading into this trigger pulling hand. As you can see, it's on a ball joint here. All you gotta do is just grab by the wrist, give it an untwist, and you just pop it right in there. So now she has a gun. And to do that, so the handles here, you have to like move them down like this, and they pop into place. And you load that into the, where's the hand? Into the appropriate hand for the motion. So each hand is for a different motion, as you can tell. And to load a face on, which is probably hard to do on camera because my stuff's kind of hard to get off. You gotta take your finger here and put it right there in the indentation, and you can just pop the face off. There we go. And you get this. Yeah, horrible. But the whole face just comes off, and put it aside. There you go. And you take it off the ringlet right here, and then you can give her essentially any of the three faces she came with. My favorite is the one with the visor, which is right here. I'm just gonna place it on, and you put that back on the peg. If I can get it on there. There we go. And there you go. Nice and simple stuff. Her accessories, although sparse, I think they fit her perfectly. Anyone who knows me knows I am an IDW fan, and I really wish she had come with the one that Steph Azalea came with, the IDW insane screaming face, or you know, the wink wink, the angry black woman face, that people call it. I wish it came with that, but well, the guy's all good. Although I wish he had some swords, because I'm not, like I said, I'm not an IDW guy. I love RC with swords. Now, as for the old comparison, put her back here. Here's the Generations RC, so you can see how she stacks up, and you can and the proportions are greatly bigger in this form. Although on alt mode, they're very comparable as far as size goes. And for a somewhat, although not exactly MP, here's my MMC Rodimus, which, as you can tell, they're, in my opinion, honestly very in scale with. And since I'm not really into MPs, I'm into more the MMC kind of bigger, I guess, Voyager scale. For me, she works out good for that. Cause I've seen the Fan Toys Rouge, I believe her name is, and to me that one is more like what you call a MP, and that's why I went with this one, because I like the proportions of this much better. So let's get him out of the way. Clear my throat. As for this figure goes, though I haven't messed with any of the other third-party versions of RC, this one I like. In the future, I may get my hands on them and I'll test them out. But for the most part, I really like this thing, and it definitely gets a recommend from me. And I picked this thing up from Big Bad Toy Store, and last time I checked, they still have plenty more. So if you'd like to get your hands on it, give them a check out. You might be pleasantly surprised. I also mess with the Chosen Prime. They're really good guys. I probably went there, but they are out of stock. But yeah, any big retailer, they should have them. So yeah, this is Saram Nuspa, the Black Gentleman. About to ready to bounce. Check out. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Always trying to grow the channel. make it better. And I'm happy to say, just last month alone, I've gone up in about 10 subscribers. So thank you guys for that. I very much appreciate every last one of you. Until next time, peace out.